So, dude, it's very strange to see you on this side of the camera on race weekend. It's got to be a bit odd in New Zealand and you're not racing.
Yeah, I have to say, I never thought I'd be here so soon. I'm just a young pup, but nah, it's a bit of a shame not to be racing, but it's a great race, and really looking forward to seeing what everyone's got.
We ended last year on this course. You were a big part of that race with that breakaway. Now we're starting the season, so both ends of the New Zealand summer. Talk about what you expect when a lot of these athletes, it's their first big one of the year.
Yeah, 5 months seems like a long time away now that I think about it, but this is a challenging course, Barrie, as you know. It's great that we've got a couple of these courses throughout the year, and this sort of mixes it up. It's a lot of strength course at the start of the year, and I think that those are the athletes that are going to shine through.
Now, you told me off the record that you think Kate McElroy is going to have something special here. What's your thoughts on how she's going to attack this? Because she's from the local area, obviously wants to do well at home, and she's got a great bike going on right now.
Yeah, I think the women's field and the women's racing in general could be in for a bit of a surprise, and not just this weekend, but in generally throughout the series. I think that it's time that the women were going to step up and change the game a little bit, and I think the bikes are going to become more integral in how they implement a good result at the end of the day. So I think Kate's she's up for it. This is a great course, and I think that she might be one to really throw her hat in the ring.
What other women do you think are going to be a major factor?
I mean, obviously from last year's results carrying on, it wasn't, like you said, it wasn't a very long time that we were actually standing here 5 months ago. So you've got Anna Haug, who's coming off getting second in the World Championship Series, and then following that up with a first place in Mooloolaba only 3 weeks ago. So I'm sure on this kind of course she'll be a threat as well, and I'm sure Andrea Hewitt, another New Zealander, will be there in or around the podium like she always is.
Now let's take a look on the men's side. I mean, Javier Gomez started off with his victory in Mooloolaba, made it look very easy. The Brownlees aren't here. Is there anyone that can challenge him?
I think Javier, with the form that he showed in Mooloolaba, he's clearly the favourite. He always is in most races he goes in, unless the Brownlee boys are here. So I think he's the favourite. But I'm interested to see not only how the Kiwis go and at their home race. They know it's a big race and they're up for it. Ryan Sissons, Tony Dodds. But also the coming back of our 2008 Olympic champion, Jan Fratino. I think he was in some pretty good nick after the Olympics last year in London. Unfortunately, had a little bit of a whoopsie before he got over here and didn't end up racing. So this is a course that the big boy likes, and he's pretty excited to be here. So I think he might be in the mix.
Now, can you imagine that we've got 3 sets of Russian brothers racing? I mean, it's almost like a factory. Is that a benefit when you've got that many guys who swim that well and know each other, that they're not going to try to do something special early on in the swimming bike?
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely not an April Fool's joke anyway. And the boys, when they get together, whether it's brothers or whatever, as a group, are pretty impressive. And I've raced the Vasilyevs and the Brukankovs and the Polyanskis throughout my career. And I'm sure that the Russian guys getting together as a unit, they're always pretty dangerous, the Russians, at the start of the year. Nothing more dangerous than a motivated Russian. So, I think they'll play a big part in this race. All swim really well, and on this course you need to be out in the front, get up that hill pretty early and still have some gas in your tank to be able to push on later on.
Now, last year Richard Varga got away with Brownlee, and the two of them made an attempt to stay ahead. Eventually you cleared the pathway and had your solo break for a bit of time. Is there anyone that can swim with Varga, and does it make sense for him to take a little something off that first part of the swim, because he's been blowing out those fast swims for over a year?
Yeah, I mean, you would probably argue, if he just slowed down a little bit, he might actually end up helping himself out a little bit more, with the fact that a few more guys might be able to keep up and stay on his feet. But I think Richard's come from the mode of pushing as hard as he can from the get-go, very similar to his training partners Alistair and Johnny. So he's taken that model on, and he's probably not going to slow down. But if 2 or 3 guys manage to hang on to him with such a, it's not a huge field, and there's less wheels to follow, and such a demanding course, there could be quite a lot splintered both in the male and female fields.
Last question, how's the wing going? I know you had a bit of a crash, and that sort of sidelined some of your racing plans for 2013. How's the shoulder feeling?
Yeah, I broke my collarbone like 4 weeks ago, so it's one of those things. It's part of the sport. Never broke a bone in my body while I was doing the sport, but as soon as I was retired, I ended up breaking the wing. So now I'm sort of going to be on the other side, helping, getting involved more with you, mate, and being more involved with the athletes and working with them a little bit closely, and just being on the WTS. So I'm still around, mate. They can't get rid of me.
Looking forward to a great season. It all starts in just about 24 hours, and we've got this man, Kris Gemmell's insight, that we're going to use all season long.